Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse. For some more firehouse reason. As you can see today again, we are once more firing from the jungles of deeper Congo. Where today I'll be reasoning about the physical and the spiritual aspect of life, as it was. Because we need to understand the physical to overs the spiritual. And we all have physical roots. Today's lesson, I say, is going to be painful for those who are from the jungles, I say, of inner Congo here. The black people. You know what I mean? Because you need to understand your, like I say, your whoever we are, you know, black or white. But I'm dealing with the jungle man in this section of the reasoning as it was then. So I'm saying then, you need to understand yourself physically first. As a black person or an African then, before you can understand yourself spiritually. Now, we have to love ourselves. Our body is a part of ourselves because obviously we are riding in it, innit? You know what I mean? So we have to love our body. Accept our body as it was given to us by the creative energy then, as it was. You know what I mean? Now, I've heard people say, oh, well, we need to beautify up our body. And they use this excuse when I explain to them now. If they could possibly explain to me how come they are now exchanging their natural kink, as it was, for Chinese or Indian hair or horse and donkey and mule, I don't know. What kind of hair they weave wigs out of. For, say for me as a jungle man then, why would I want to put my friend Mario's hair on my head to make me feel as if I'm looking good? You know what I mean? I don't feel that, well, I know that. I don't need anyone here on top of my head to beautify myself. So I'm saying to the jungle people, men or women, that is, you know what I mean? Because maybe some men feel that they have to straighten out the hair as well to be accepted, or whatever the case, bleaching the body or whatever. But whenever you are doing these kind of activities now, you cannot know yourself. You have no chance of knowing yourself. It's as if God created you like you are and you are telling God now that you don't like the way you look, so you think other people look beautiful, so you have to try your best to look like them. To think that, well, you will be accepted. Another set of beings from the jungle, because we are a family, you know. So I'm speaking to the family here, you know. And we are all family, all of us as beings. But I'm speaking to the section that come from the jungle right about now. So I'm saying to them now, a lot of you now have leave the jungle. This is how, you know, all that with your hair is losing yourself so you can't know yourself and bleaching yourself. Another way where you've got lost now is by adopting the religion of what I call outside forces, Christianity or Islam or any one of those things that enter the jungle. Because obviously now, those things, our ancestors was never Christians or Muslim. In fact, these are just what they say 2,000 years ago. We've been here in the jungle a lot longer than 2,000 years. So you know for sure that our ancestors from the jungle was never Christian and was never Muslim. So if any one of you jungle people, I call you, black people, has leave your ancestral roots and you are now following Islam or Christianity, you are a lost soul. And that is going to hurt a lot of you, because there's millions of you in it that are Christians and Muslim. I'm from Jamaica, and the majority of Jamaicans are Christians. So if I tell them that, hey, brethren, you've lost your way, you know what I mean? You are following somebody else, you are in somebody else's paradigm. And you're not in the paradigm of the enlightened either, you're in the paradigm of the blind. Those who have led you down into darkness, or led you astray from your ancestral roots. And this come about in many kind of ways, like I'm saying. Because our history in the physical is that we was subject, our ancestors was subject to slavery. You see what I mean? And because of this subjection to slavery, we was conditioned to believe of a lot of bullshit, I say. You see what I mean? So we was conditioned to accept somebody else's idea of beauty. And now we will not accept beauty unless we model ourselves on what they have portrayed to us as beauty. You see what I mean? So that has led a lot of people, like I say, away from roots, where when you see them now, they don't have their natural hair. You know what I mean? Or even the natural skin color, a lot of them, because they either have to feel that to look good, you must have some form of straight hair. I don't know who laid down that law. I don't know who laid down the law that for you to be classed as a beauty, and us black people accept it as well, that for us to be accepted as beautiful amongst other beings, then we must recondition then our natural kink. You don't know why you have this here, because everything is for a reason. I don't know the reason why either, but I know that Jah, if you don't like Jah, God, the all intelligence, the one, I know that the one do everything for a reason, and always a good reason as well. You know what I mean? So everybody must look like they look for a reason. Whether they're black or white, you know what I mean? It doesn't make no difference. It's just that I'm addressing those who I deem to have gone astray then. Since as I'm calling the sheep back then to roots. So I am addressing those of the family who have gone astray from roots, either through religion or through modeling themselves of others. You know what I mean? Neglecting their roots. And I'm saying now that such behavior, when anyone is doing such behavior, you cannot know your spiritual self, your inner self. Because you first have to, it's like a balance, you have to balance in the physical to get to the spiritual then. So you have to love and accept yourself as you are, with your big black ugly nose and big lips, whatever you got in it. That's the way you was born, and you must love yourself like that. You cannot let others now convince you that, oh yeah, you are ugly, because they don't know the inner. They are saying that the body is ugly, but the body is not the spirit anyway. But sometimes it frightens a lot of these people anyway, so they think, oh yes, I am ugly, so I've got to go and beautify, not themselves. You are not beautifying yourself, you idiot. You are beautifying the body. You see, the body is not you. But when you are beautifying the body in that particular kind of a way, it's with the wrong intention, wrong purpose, so you will get confused. Nothing wrong with beautifying the body if you want, I'm not saying you must just neglect your body and don't do anything to your body, you know what I mean? But we've got all kind of natural product here within the jungle to beautify up our own hair in our own hairstyle, you know what I mean? our own headdress or our own painting, lipstick. I don't know, whatever you want, beautifying up yourself with, innit? Nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, oh, there's something wrong with it now when you have to be wearing Chinese here or Indian here. It's a big industry. Sell it all over Africa and all over. You see what I mean? Because all these people think now that I don't know one leading black woman in the world who the world would accept as beautiful if she had her own natural hair and with her own natural black skin. No, they will not accept such beings as beautiful. So therefore the women think now that because they will not, they are the world. I don't know why they want the world to accept them. But because this world now will not accept them the way they are as beautiful, that they now have to perform a lot of maneuver to fit the what the world accept as beautiful now. So the world accept as beautiful if you have straight hair, you know, nice straight hair and light skin, you know, white. That's what that means. Let's call it white then. If you are white and all those, so all the rest now are striving their best now to get on this train, this good-looking train as it was, you know. So that's how now a lot of us now has abandoned our roots. You see what I mean? In pursuit of beauty, a false beauty as well, you know? Not genuine beauty, something idiotic and blind. And likewise as well now, a lot of us now has gone off, like I said, the majority. And all this happened because going back into the history as well, because after thousands of years of trying to conquering our ancestors, like I tell you, they had to fight off the Roman, the Greeks, the I don't know, going back, lots of them, they've been trying. But eventually they overran us then, you know. Yeah, we get overrun then, you know. So after they overran us, they hide all our history now, bury it up now. And then bring in, because only conquerors are never genuine, you know. I say conquerors always offer peace but never justice. But anyway, after they conquer now and hide up and burn what they have to burn and hide whatever else they hiding in their museum of our history and whatever, you know what I mean? And because we was captured and brought far away from home as it was, where they surgically remove our language. So now we no longer have no language, you know what I mean? They do all these kind of things and then insert their bullshit into us. Whether the bullshit is called Christianity or it was that by the other enslaver that they call Islam. Don't forget when I'm telling you, religion is a in and a out, a positive and a negative. So the negative part of Christianity swept over Africa along with the negative Islam. You see what I mean? And that is the energy now that has sucked you away from your ancestral roots. You see what I mean? Because those energy, being deceptive energy, I say, coming back to something, this is why I feel the jungle man now, in this time, we need to revert back to organic religion, if you know what I mean. A similar thing like in the physical, how a lot of people are realizing in this time that it would be better if you eat organic food then, you know. Because the rest of food now are contaminated up with all kind of, you don't even know what disease or what pest, you know what I mean. Those kind of things are contaminated. And likewise in the physical now, the religion that they bring to you now, it's contaminated with a lot of, lot of disease and, that is detrimental to one mind. If one should consume such bullshit into the faculties as it was. You see what I mean? So you need now to revert to organic religion. Now what could organic religion be? And this organic religion is going for everyone, The one that you grow yourself. Because if you grow your own cabbage and lettuce and all them kind of thing, you know what I mean, whatever it is, you grow it organically and you was the one doing it yourself, then you know for sure that it will be genuine and pure then, as it was, best of your ability. So it's just the same way with this organic religion. Because we are human beings in it. So anything a human being is telling you is coming from their mind. Now you've got a mind. So if they can think, why can't you think? You see what I mean? So you can actually grow your own religion. Instead of following the religion of what somebody else tell you. You know, like they say, oh, God send this prophet, you know. Because funnily enough, you know, now that we are now revealing, are getting back in tune with some of our ancestral ways. In the jungle here, we never had any prophet. We never need any. You know what I mean? All this thing about, I see them say that we was worshipping the sun, as it was. But like I'm telling you, life is a physical and a non-physical. So yes, in the outer, we did recognize that the sun was the representation of the terrible and dreadful one that is within. You know what I mean? But our ancestors was not worshipping that sun that was outside, just recognizing it as the giver of light then in the physical. And, you know, paying it due respect then, respect due to the sun, you know what I mean? But why would one want to worship the sun? You know what I mean? No. I never worship the sun. Because we was in touch, I would say, well, I am now, so I know what they was doing, innit? So because they was in tune, as it was, because they never went away from roots, you know. They were strictly roots. Our original ancestors. It was the others that come in and disturb the other and bring people away from the roots. But the original, they wasn't away from their roots, so they know the roots. So these original ancestors now, they made the link with the one within, on the spiritual level, the giver of light. Just like how the sun gives light everywhere, in the physical. So the internal one, which is the true one, because you cannot talk to that sun. But you can talk to the one that is within, if you know what I mean. Same sun, but within it's got a voice then, as it was. So you can talk to this one. This one is the giver of light. You understand? So they know the giver of light. You understand what I mean? They was dealing with the inward way, as well as the outward way as well, you know. That's why they was able to build all them things that they build, innit? Because when you are in tune, you are on a different level. But when your mind is greedy and selfish, it's clogged up, innit? It cannot operate the way that it really should, or the way that it can, due to the way that we are behaving, if you know what I mean. So all of us now, like I'm saying, who have gone away from these ancestral roots, I mean, you have it as an example here now. Excuse me, I have a drink of water. Okay, like I say, due to his story, I always, instead of history, his story then. And we was taken away, and like I say, language me move and name, and now we now have what we call English names. So I'm called Paul, you know what I mean? Fair enough that we get brainwashed that way, we can see it, and that name, you know. So we carry that name still. But now you have people now, like I'm saying now, who is leaving this slave name that we have here now, and then adopting another name, say a Muslim one, calling themselves Ali, or Mohammed, or whatever name the Arab call themselves. But those names are not African names. We in Africa, we never ever, our ancestor, name anybody those kind of name. They name them African name. All those names come in after we went away from roots. Due to the great attack that we was under in the bush for, I say, thousands of years before they eventually conquer, I say. So we was conquered literally all around and scattered all over the place, east, west, north and south, you see what I mean? And then given their particular brand of bullshit. You see what I mean? Now the only way for us to seriously know ourselves is to revert back to roots in the physical then. So physically, you must accept yourself. I say, yeah, I'm a black man, descended from the Africans. Yeah? Now, way back down there, even before, the name African is a Roman name. Named after a Roman general, Africanus. But we'll use it anyway. But way back down there now, before we was, long before we was called Africans, we never know anything about any Islam and any Christianity, you know, our ancestors. And it wasn't while they wasn't thinking, you know, when they was building and constructing, whatever building they was building and constructing, and conceiving of the ideas that they was conceiving of. It wasn't because they was Christian and Muslim. Had nothing to do with that. Because that you see, what people don't understand, yeah? The truth, or what is right and correct, has got nothing to do with history. It's got nothing to do with human beings, you know. It's like the sun shining, it just shines anyway. You know what I mean? So you cannot bring it anywhere, because it is everywhere shining. You see what I mean? So where, if the sun is everywhere shining, which it is, you know, it's in, I know you can only see the physical one, but trust me, the spiritual one is as well. Every blood clot we are shining, you know. So if it is everywhere shining, then you tell me, what is a man or any being doing coming here now inside of Congo, telling me that he's bringing the light? You can see the goddamn light is already shining. See? So, you know, they never bring the light as it was. I reckon they just come to rob what the light create, you see? Because our ancestors was working with the light, and through working with the light, they was able to advance to great, what they would call advancement, you know? And then they get jealous of it, to come in, not to bring any light, but to rob, you see? And confuse the issue. And then set about now, I say that earth, and earth as beings, all of us together. Excuse I. I say as beings, all of us, you know, black, white, as a family, and earth, we should have construct a house, you know, master builders, like I say, Masonic kind of thing then, you know. You have to be a master builder to build the house. Now, all of us would make up this house, you know. So that means one of us would be one set of us would be the roof, one the window, one the wall, one the foundation. Now, because I always say, because the black man is at the bottom, as it was in the physicality of things, he should have been the foundation. You see what I mean? Of the house that we create on earth. Now, but they went ahead anyway and built the house without including the foundation. That's what you see playing out in front of you here now, because the house is going to come crumbling down. Because it's not built on firm foundation, is it? You've excluded I and I from out of it. So your house must fall. And when it comes falling down now, all of you who have run away from the jungle here is going to you are going to fall with that house that is going to come crashing down. Because you've sided with it. You've taken shelter in it, if you know what I mean. You've accepted the God that they give you, or the Son of God, you know what I mean, or the Prophet of God that they give you, and tell you that God sent, which is a definite lie, you know, like I'm telling you. It must be one, at least 400,000 billion, trillion, multi-billion, trillion % certain to be a lie. This is when you wake up, you can calculate these dangerous numbers for sure. You know what I mean? Because you wake up in it. So when you wake up, the goddamn light is everywhere. The light don't send anyone. Like the light never send me, as an example, to sit in front of a camera or any given opportunity that I get to convince people that this light is within them. It never sent me to do that. You understand? Life is a matter of choice. If you choose to live honestly and do what is right and correct, the one within you, your own conscience, call it conscience, will teach you. He's trying to teach you anyway, but you don't fucking listen. So, you know, how can you? It's like a simple thing. If you are teaching me to drive and you say, oh, because I don't drive in it, I'm a foot walker, you know. So if you say, put your hands on the wheel, and I say I'm not doing it, would I ever learn to drive? No. So it's the same simple thing with conscience. It's talking to everyone at once, innit? Because it's everywhere, innit? You don't miss out anyone, innit? But they don't listen. Because you don't have to listen either, because you've got your own choice. You don't understand. This is not in the physical, this is in the spiritual. You know what I mean? So we have our own choice. So if our conscience say to us, oh, don't steal that, we can tell it to fuck off, because we are going to do it anyway, because we desire it, you know what I mean? If it says, oh, don't hate people, it's not a good thing, you can tell it to fuck off as well, because you've got your own free choice to do what you want. You understand? If it tell you, like I say, don't wear wig, because it's not good, you know. You should wear your natural hair, even if your head is bald to blood clot, I say, you know. You can say, no, I want to look good, I want to look beautiful, I want other people to undo what you want. This is a matter of choice. But if you choose, as an example, to do what is right, conscience will teach you. I don't know what the fuck it will teach you, but I know that it will teach you. Well, anyway, it will teach you one thing. It will open your eyes to reality within, instead of just the reality of seeing the physical and being unable to penetrate beyond the physical. You see what I mean? Because well, just call it certain levels of the mind. Beings accept themselves as physical beings. That's why they get into confusion like racism. You see what I mean? Because they can't see that they are one. Because they see themselves as bodies. So they think that, yeah, this man is black, that man is white, and you know, so they can get into that. Or they are on the level of the mind where they are into nationalism, which is another form of racism, because it's divide and rule different tribes. You see what I mean? So those kind of things are for mad, you know, when the mind, like I say, is not yet the mind is not yet open then. You know what I mean? And any type of behavior can be expected when the mind is not open. You know, because it's just like it would be just like a blind man running about here in the jungles of Congo, like I say. He wouldn't be able to see if he was going to fall over the cliff, running into the trees, or what exactly he was stumbling over, as it was, you know what I mean? But he would just spend his time running all over the place, doing all kind of things, you know what I mean? Maybe he hear a noise and just open fire and kill all his mother. Because he doesn't know what he's doing, he can't see. So that is the behavior now of beings. You know, all beings I'm dealing with here now, that don't listen to the little voice that is within them, called Jah that one, you know, that is talking to them and is trying to give them direction, and in this case, like I say, to give you some light so that you can see within the darkness as it was. You know what I mean? So, on one level of life then, one have to accept their body then and say, yeah, my body is what we call white, and I love my white body, you know what I mean? Because that's what my spirit is in, and I'm happy with it, and I love me straight hair and my blue eyes and everything. That is the way God created me. Accept yourself like that. But then when you accept yourself like that now, your body, you will realize that you are a spirit dwelling in this body now. Now when we come to that level where we reach the spirit, we know that the spirit have no color. And when we realize this now, we realize that every form contain the spirit that have no color. If you know what I mean. You see what I mean? So on that level now is where we find oneness. You see what I mean? But this oneness is hidden in diversity. But you will never discover oneness within diversity until you learn to listen to your conscience. Because conscience is the teacher, ain't it? Bad boy general. Yeah, man, I will ask you, man. Because, hey, alright then. How many other sun do you think has been shining light on this planet, apart from the one that is shining on my head here today? Hazard a guess. The same rascal one sun, I say. Yeah. No other sun shine any light here. And in the days of my ancestor, and before them blood clot, this sun was shining and in the physical when they come to earth. Eh? And within the physical was the same sun shining. Well, always been shining, in it. It's the light. You know? Can't go anywhere, just like how the outer sun don't go anywhere. This light within don't go anywhere. You burn it in you. You know what I mean? You're part of the light. You see what I mean? So this light now, like I'm telling you now, can't send any motherfucker here. Hey, we could say, send the whole of us here. You know? But you say can't send no individual here. And when we all come here now, because this light, there's no sentiment within it, you know. If you know what I mean. It is not going to think, oh yes, I like Mr. Marius, my friend here. I'm going to choose him to be my son, or, you know, some special being, some rascal. I said, oh yes, I love some people over there. I am going to give them this. None of that motherfucking stupidity is going to go on here. Here is where we come to make a choice. You see what I mean? It is up to you to decide. Not for the one to decide anything for you. And like I say, when we're talking on these kind of talk, we must never forget the negative master himself. The one that those who are in the dark are terrified of. They call this one Satan, or the devil, or Lucifer. All kind of excuse me, scaremongering names. But all that is referring to is our negative side. You know? Because we are both positive and negative. We have those energies within us. You see what I mean? The positive and the negative. Just like the sun and the moon, they've always been around, in and out. You don't get the drift. Those two that you see up there, they are the permanent, you know? When we die, I don't know, that will soon fuck us up anyway, out of it. But these two energies will still be here in the beings that remain here, or even in the beings that go there then. Well, I don't know about there. Let's just say here, definitely, Just to speak about what we're certain about. So I am certain that even when I'm dead, the negative and the positive one will still be working, operating within beings, just like how the sun and the moon. When the sun and the moon cease to exist, I don't know what will happen. But right now, they're existing. So because they're existing within man. Now the negative master himself, like I say, he's everywhere at once as well, you know. Bad boy general. From just like how the sun was always been there and the moon has always, so the mind has always been within man as well. You know what I mean? So you find that within yourself then you always have one side of you always speaking a lot of fuckery. You know? Bullshit there, you know. You know, vindictive, spiteful, jealous argument, all kind of fuckery. That's what Lucifer deal with, you know what I mean? And then the other side now, the sun, just deal with a one light thing, just positivity. Because you can see in the sun that duality don't exist within the sun. So within the sun you wouldn't find male and female, you know. The sun is beyond male and female. Just like how the truth is beyond, you know, male and female and history and all those kind of fuckery. So the sun is beyond duality. But the mind isn't beyond duality. The mind is duality. Because the mind now is where you can either be positive or negative. So that's why we are in the field of the mind then. The negative masters feel, as it was. That's why we are in there now. But because the mind now, like I say, have the possibility to be either positive or negative, yeah, this is where choice come in. Because we are the one now who can choose to make the mind either operate in a positive way or a negative way. Because one way or the other, the mind is going to operate in a blood clot way. You know what I mean? If you can't decide, the mind will make a decision for you. Yeah, that's how the mind works. You know what I mean? So, this is when now, like I say, because of choice, we can choose. So just to buff it up then, if we should choose positively then, to follow the ways of the positive one now, that means we would have to stop doing our little negativity that we know that we are doing, whatever negativity that is. We find those and root them out like how we would root out these roots from out of the garden and get rid of them and plant now. The positive one will give you good intention to plant within the mind, and then before you know it now, the mind will be able to receive light and reflect it back out. You see what I mean? But it cannot receive the light, like I say. I know I keep repeating myself, you know, but things are, the truth is not like I say, a long story. So in every reasoning you will hear the same thing being repeated over and over and over and over. Because that's what truth is like. It's repetitive. That's what Lady tell me. You know what I mean? So until one gets serious then in the mind and is ready to clean out whatever impediment there is within the mind. Like I say, all beings know the wrongs that they are doing anyway. You know what I mean? Because we're all intelligent. The light is within us all, you know. It's not possible, unless I'm not talking if a man definitely impaired and his mind mash up on him, you know. He's a man who will just walk off the cliff and kill himself, you know. Him don't know. We're not dealing with that. Those of you whose mind are working, when whatever you are doing, you know the wrongs that you're doing, you know. So you can correct them. You understand? Instead of you being afraid of Lucifer or the devil, why don't you get to know the devil that is within you? The same one that is always whispering all kind of fuckery in your ears. You know, or criticizing people if you're walking on the street, you know. Don't be afraid of him. That's just how, you know, we are not the originators of thoughts, right? Those two energies are positive and negative. They originate thoughts. Because they are the original. Before we come into creation, they was. Understand? So they create thoughts. We are just choosing. I say I like the way they have the electric light, positive and negative. And I think they say we are neutral, something like that. So anyway, I reckon if you when you connect these forces properly together, right, you can produce your own light. And when you have your own light, now you are able to see. This is why I say you now become an organic farmer, as it was, where you know, growing your own religion, as it was, what they call religion anyway. Because what they don't understand, right, religion, just like how we live in physical and non-physical in it. So it have an outer aspect and an inner aspect. You see what I mean? The outer aspect is like when you grow some fruits here in the jungles of Congo. We grow coconut and things. So, and then when the coconut is ready, we're going to drink the water. You see what have to happen? We have to remove that hard outer husk to get to the juice, which is nutritious to us to drink. So it's the same principle with the outer form of religion that you are seeing in mosques and temples and talking about prophets and saying. They represent the husk of the religion, but they are not the juice. For you to get to the juice, you have to remove them. And like I say, in religious sense, removing them mean you ignore all that they are about, you know. Because anything that they are telling is just blind, mad stupidity. So you have to ignore them. You have to get serious as a soldier. As if you fight in a war and say, listen man, that's bullshit. No way, because you're listening to your own self will be telling you or showing you. When you start to follow conscience itself will show you plainly. And then you won't be able to, when conscience show you, because you have your own mind, you'll try and reason, and then you will see your unconscious that yeah, it's true. Then you know, that's how you get through them, you know. Get rid of that bullshit, because that is the outer form, not the inner. So people are always, you know, well, because we live mostly in the physical then. People just pay attention to what is physical. Never pay any attention to what they can't see. You know how many people I have to be telling that, listen, can't you see that if you never draw the breath, you will be dead? I don't know how long you would live. If you ask a lot of humans, say, what is the most important thing in life? They run off talking about love and God and money and all kind of something. You know what I mean? When it's the breath, right, blowing there, the breath. But it's not really visible, is it? So it shows you the power of the invisible over the visible. You see what I mean? But they only believe, like I say, in the physical aspect of life. Not realizing that, oh yeah, there's a spiritual, an unseen aspect to life then. Which is just as real as what you can see. You see what I mean? So every time I go about the earth and telling people, say, oh, don't you know that your memory is a video recorder? They think it's some kind of joke, joke, you know what I mean? Maybe because I tell them laughing. But that's exactly what it is. I can guarantee you that it is for about 5,000 billion, trillion, billion, and lots more percent. Guarantee that's exactly what it is. An internal camera to record all your deeds. Because you can't die in it. Oh yeah, for sure the body is going to get zampa. Move from here. But we're not talking about the body. We are talking about when you transcend the body now and you understand yourselves spiritually, what is within the body. That energy that dwell, you know, like say if a doctor cut your head and look for you, he don't find you, is it? But you're in there, isn't it? You are the one looking through the eyes, looking at the world out there, you know, and hiding, and you're in there, up in the head. I was telling a lady this week, you know, because I'm explaining to her why the mind is in the head and not in the foot, because it's almost, I don't know where people think the mind is. The mind is in the head. That's where the engine room is. Up here. Up here in the head. You see if the beings got eyes to see. You don't look through your legs, do you? or through your hands, innit? You are looking through your eyes, and where are your eyes? In your head. So that's where you are. That's where the spirit is, in the head. You don't think it's in the head. Alright then. If you cut a man 2 legs off, that man can live. Yeah, man. Cut all his 2 arms off, and the man live. Ears, everything, you know what I mean? And the man. Nowadays they're even replacing heart with another heart. And the man live. But I want to see them take off a man's head now and put on another head. Or even take it off, you know, and put it back on. Like how these ISIS man now are cutting man's head off, yeah? I want to see them stitch back. Like, you know, like sometimes either woman cut off a man penis or one of them things there. Man cut off finger and them run go sew up finger back. Yeah? And make it work again. Cut your head off and see what happens. So, why is it that you can cut your legs and your arms off and you survive and you can't cut your head off? Because the head is where the mind is. It's the engine, innit? It's the top of the body, innit? You see what I mean? So up there in the head, that's what I'm teaching about. What is going on up there in the head? So up there in the engine room, like I'm saying, is the great master Lucifer. And the great light itself. We dwell in duality with the energy that we would call Lucifer then, because we are in the field of the mind, innit? You see what I mean? From there we are subject to all manner of temptation and all. Now the temptation that we are subject to here within the mind, there is none of that over in the field of the sun. See what I mean? We might be over here in the mind, and over here in the mind now we are arguing about male and female. You see what I mean? But over there is no male and female. You could say that the male and female is what the one create, but the one is neither male nor female. If you understand what I mean. Now, even the male and female principle, it's incorporated in everyone, what we call the male, and also in the female. So the male is a construct then of the male and female principle. Because we are in the field of the male and goddamn female principle. That's what the mind have all dualities contained within itself. You understand? So we are in the field of duality. So once you are in the field of duality, you must have the male and the female in you, the good and the bad, the positive and the negative, you know, the left and the right and all this fuckery. That's how life is, in it, over here in the field of the mind as it was. You see what I mean? What is going to take us out of our duality? Because while we are in the mind, we are in confusion. We don't know the difference between things then, as it was. Because there is no light within the mind. Light here in the case that we are talking is what is right and correct and truthful and honest. Just like in the outside moon then. The moon is not a creator of light. You know? It receives it from the sun and then reflect it back to the earth. So likewise within, the mind cannot create light. You see what I mean? It is dwelling in opposite and negativity and all this kind of confusion and kind of thing. Right? See what I mean? But because we are in this field, like I said before now, and because we have free choice, we can choose to follow the positive one. If we do this now, the positive one now, we can receive the light from that one and fill our mind up with light and reflect it back out onto our fellow human being. You see what I mean? But that's the only way you can receive light. You see what I mean? Because the mind, like I tell you, is not and if you deal with the mind, it's only going to go on with duality in it, and racism and separatism and spite and jealousy and greed, because that's the activity that go on within the mind. But here now, we are not, we are trying to rise the individual beyond the level of the mind then to oneness. And we find oneness now, not within the mind, but within the sun, as it was. To make it more simpler for you, we don't find oneness within the moon then, because it's a dual thing. We find the oneness in the sun, who is always shining the one light, and never deviate, ever. That's about. Never ever deviate. But the moon deviate, and sometime it will and sometime it won't. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing with the mind now. One have to ignore the mind in a way. Well, I don't say ignore the mind, You can't ignore the mind, because like I say, the same mind that is positive, the same mind can be negative. You see what I mean? Because my mind wasn't always positive, it was one time negative. But due to choice, you can change your mind due to your choice. So you can choose to be positive. When you choose to be positive, then you can reflect the light of the one that is within, the giver of light. You see what I mean? But there's no way you can do it though until you change from negative to positive to be able to receive the light. Because when you are negative, the light will not enter. It's because it's like a dirty glass, like I say. So there's no way clean water is going to enter a dirty glass, is it? The glass have to be cleansed. So there's no way any mind can reflect the will of the one until the mind is cleansed of its impurities then, Strive to live a decent life, as it was, We're not perfect, No human is perfect. That's why I say strive. Only the one is perfect, where light comes from. But we can try our best. So when we try our best to do the best that we can now, we can receive the light of that one. You see what I mean? When you are receiving the light of that one now, then you don't have to, like I tell you, go and read anything or ask anything. You're receiving the light of the one. You just speak what you know. You see what I mean? Because it's like I say, it's like living in darkness and suddenly the light come on. When the light is on, of course you're going to think, you might have think that thing was right before, but now you can say, it's not right, it was an illusion, So, naturally, before I was in the light, I never know whether religion was wrong and right, or how it was wrong and right. Because I couldn't see that for myself. I couldn't hold a discourse on the subject, as it was, before I was 27, confidently then, and speak, you know what I mean? Before I was 27, I never said Jesus never exists, because I never know. I just did hear that, But I never knew, and I never got no evidence how I could prove that such thing could never fucking happen. You see what I mean? So why would I sit and be telling people? But after 27 now, when I eyes open, you see, and I'm under the guidance of the one, I was able to see clearly, say, no man, such a thing cannot go on. So ever since that day I can tell a man, say, that is just bullshit, false and pretentious lying, you know what I mean? Any man who is saying that is a hypocrite, without even knowing it, He might faithfully believe it, don't get me wrong, But he's not studying life enough to know that faith is positive and negative, and that he's actually holding on to blind faith. But I will bet, let's say about 597 trillion, billion, zillion, upon some more billion, trillion, that yes, it is a lie, nothing can go like that, God never sent no Jesus, That's just a bull. That's just a, you could never tell that to anyone who is awake. Such stupidity, you know what I mean? That God can send. The light is a neutral energy anyway. It's a neutral, the light is it operates like how the outer sun operates in a way. You can get nice energy from the sun, But it's neutral, so if you lie down in it, it probably kill you as well. You see? So within now, the light is a neutral energy. You see what I mean? It don't pick and choose and select, because we have a choice. So it's up to us to decide To choose. Yes, if you choose. The one will teach you just as if you went to a classroom and a teacher teach you. You know? But then again, I say in life, it's down to people's designing what they desire. Alright, so in physical life then, I have never wanted to be a footballer or a actor or anything, you know what I mean? Maybe if I did, I would have been pursuing those things. So I would have put a lot of energy into be an actor, a singer, blah, 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 you know? Because whatever you love, that's what you... So lots of people put energies into either the sport career, the scientific career, way. But I am not interested in no scientific career, no sport career. I am just like a man who don't really have the only thing that I see possibly in creation that I could be interested in is what is right and correct and truthful and honest. I am not interested in anything else. I am not interested in being a magician, anything, you know what I mean? I am not interested because the truth is not a magician, is it? You know what I mean? I am not interested in being scientist. I am not interested in those things. I am interested in the truth. Now, when I'm saying I'm interested in the truth, you know, the truth is about, like I say, a physical thing and a non-physical thing. So, in the physical world then, yeah, the truth is there as an example. So, yeah, my body is black. That's the truth, isn't it? Marius is white. That's the truth. I accept that. That's the truth in the physical world. You know what I mean? In the spiritual world, or in the unseen, I accept the truth as well. Because the truth is in all human beings. It's not a person. It's not a color, like I say. You know? It's not... It would be, put it this way, like I say, let me have a drink of water. Water explain the truth better. We all drink it, but I don't know anyone who can describe the taste of it. Well, I can't anyway. It's the same way with God, I say. It's very difficult sometimes to find the... words to describe, you know. Say you talk about love then, because the one is love. But you have love in the physical, so you can lots of people, as an example, they say they look for a woman to love them. You know, nothing wrong with that. But they spend a lot of time chasing, say, oh, I love and I love and I love. But that is not real love still. You know, you have aspect of love. It's love, you love your dog and you love the trees and you love the flowers and you know, all those are what we term physical love. But they are not true love, because true love is beyond anything that is physical then, if you know what I mean. Because true love can never be selfish, so true love couldn't just say just go and love this person alone. You know what I mean? And when I'm saying true love couldn't do that, I don't want a man or a woman to take it up and say, oh, he says true love couldn't just love one person, so that means you have to love everybody. And true love is spiritual love. You understand? Where, like, you develop now a love for the all, for the oneness of things. You see? Because on the planet Earth, like I say, you have one race of human beings. So you develop a love for them. That is when you get past the physical, you know, and you can see that we are all spirits. And you know that all spirits come from the same source. So we are brothers and sisters, one family. So whenever you know this oneness, then you develop one love, where you love all. You know, people are equating love with sex and all that kind of thing. Might be in the physical, you know. But love is not sex either. It's a deeper thing than that, you know what I mean? Love is a thing, like I tell you, that care for all. So it's demonstrated like how the earth then, earth love. Earth is a place that take care of everyone and it, animals, plants, trees and everything. But beyond earth love, we have universal love, because the universe contains the earth and all of the planet within it. You see what I mean? That's how God love is, deep, where it contains all. You know, God love. That's why I see the sun shine it and all in it. The sunlight don't favor anyone. And likewise, conscience don't favor anyone, but it's within all. So it's up to you to follow the guidance that is within you. Hear what anyway now. Right now, my friend signal me that we are running out of time. So right now, we're going to depart from the jungles of Congo. And I hope today we bring you a bit closer to understanding the light that is within thyself. Right now we're going to reel out, feel out and fire out from the jungles of Congo. Rastafari, live it and reign it in the head of all human beings. Fire!